Hello creators, Michaela here. I'm really excited today to bring you the first video in my 3-part video series all about starting work on your biggest creative projects. Throughout this video series, I'll be taking you through my process for launching in and making a start on your biggest creative ideas, including how to find the confidence to finally get started and how to gather together all of the much needed resources, materials, and time you need to make a start, even if you feel like you're not quite ready yet. So, before we get started, I have to answer the question, what is a big creative idea? Simply put, a big creative idea is any idea that has to do with your creative work that falls outside of the bounds of what you've traditionally done or traditionally pursued. It might be in a totally different field to what you've done before, or it might be within your field, but just thinking bigger or thinking in a different way about your work and what's possible. It might be an idea you've had for years, or it might be something that's just come up in the last few weeks. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that it means something to you and you haven't yet pursued it. Your big creative idea could be anything. It could be writing a book, launching a YouTube channel, exhibiting a collection of work at a gallery, designing a line of jewellery and selling it online, proposing a large-scale art installation project for your city's next arts festival, or perhaps starting a local painting workshop in your town. It can be absolutely anything. Whether you're an established creator or someone just starting out, I bet you have at least one big creative idea that you haven't pursued yet, and I bet you think about it a lot. So, who am I? I'm Michaela Cristallo, and I've been pursuing my biggest creative ideas for years now. I've successfully launched my own fashion design label. I've created the flourishing online creative community that is for the creators. I've launched a collaborative art space zine in my local community. These are just a few of the big creative ideas that I've pursued in the last few years. With every big creative idea I've pursued, there's been uncertainty, time pressure, and a lot of new things to learn. But in every instance, I've learned what I needed to learn, gathered together the resources and time I needed to make a start, and got moving. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to feel the weight of your biggest creative ideas on you and wonder if you're ever going to be able to make a start. And that's why I've created this video series. I know that many of you are struggling with time, you're struggling with money, you're struggling with gathering together the resources, and some of you are even struggling with the belief in yourself. You don't believe that you can make this happen. And that's why I'm bringing you this video series. I want to help you bring your biggest creative projects to life. And throughout this video series, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my best tips and processes for bringing your creative projects to life and making them a reality. One of the biggest issues I see creators face in pursuing their biggest creative ideas is belief. And I want to address it first up because belief lays at the foundation of everything else. So I'd like to get you thinking about it before we move on to anything else. Self-belief is so important, more important than you probably think. You probably think things like time, money, intelligence, aptitude, and talent play the biggest role in who succeeds and who doesn't. But it's really not true. Sure, those things certainly come in handy and they can certainly take you from one spot to the next. But if you don't have belief, that is belief in yourself behind you, none of those other things matter, not at all. So I have one big question for you today. Do you believe in yourself? And more specifically, do you believe in your big creative idea? Because this is essential. Without believing in your big creative idea, you're not going to be able to push forward. Creators who succeed are the ones who believe they can. But of course, there's more to self-belief than simply telling yourself that you believe. You have to feel it deep inside. And often that means working through the deep-seated fears that are within you and you've probably held for years. It also means feeling confident about what you're doing. It means feeling confident about your idea and gathering together the time, resources, and money you need to make it work. So, in my next video, I'm going to be sharing a really simple yet incredibly effective technique that I've used time and time again to up my belief, gather together all of the time and resources that I need to make my creative idea a reality and get moving. The great thing about what we'll be covering in the next video is it's going to take you just 15 minutes to implement. So it's something that absolutely every one of you can find time for, because I know that's a huge issue. As a creator, you're often pressed for time, you've got a million other commitments, but you want to make a start. So that's why I'm sharing this technique with you in the next video, because I just know it's going to help you move along that path to making a start on your big creative idea. So stay tuned for my next video. It's going to be landing in your inbox in 2 days' time. And I'm going to be sharing this technique with you, and it's really going to help you make a start. So make sure you tune in for that. Now, below this video, you can leave a comment, and I would absolutely love to know what you've gotten out of today's video, if you enjoyed it, and what your big creative idea is. I would love to know what it is, and I think the first step to getting it out there is sharing it with others. So don't be shy. Jump on down to the comments below and tell us what is your idea and how are you feeling about it. I'll see you in the next video.